Lil Kim reveals that she wrote for other artists, including Diddy. Lil Kim says that she wrote for. Okay, this statement I got such a kick out of. I thought it was very interesting. Of course, we know that Biggie famously wrote for Lil Kim, and but this being the 50th anniversary of hip hop, there's all types of specials, concerts. LL Cool J and Rock the Bells has a concert in celebration of the 50th year of hip hop. And you have all kind of artists that are talking about their careers. And Lil Kim was doing an interview, an exclusive interview for XXL's Legends cover. Did you still know that XXL was around? So anyway, she's discussing her rap career. She's discussing her very impactful career. Lil Kim definitely has cemented her status as one of the more prolific women artists to emerge from hip hop. She's one of the OGs. A lot of female rappers pattern themselves after Lil Kim. So I definitely want to put that out there, put out there how much of an impact she has made. So this Brooklyn MC, Lil Kim, has shared the mic with Jay-Z, Biggie, others, rap greats, Diddy, the Locks. And many once believed that Kim did not write her own lyrics because of her work with Biggie. And we've talked about this on the show before. Reference track. We heard reference tracks, Biggie doing raps that we later heard Lil Kim say. So those reference tracks. And, I guess if you also remember the time period after Biggie died, when Lil Kim was making some records, some of the records, the lyrics, the flows were different. Many assumed that there was somebody else writing for her. Maybe it was Kim writing at that point. Anyway, she sat down with XXL magazine to set the record straight, and the rapper spoke for this Legends cover series and reflected on her career. At one point in the interview,
everyone calls me an icon. It's an honor to me. It makes me smile. It makes me happy to know that people look at me that way, because I never really saw that for myself. It just happened organically. There's a few highlights in my career, but it's funny because I never had that, oh my God, I made it moment. Even to this day, I feel like that moment is still coming. I'm so glad to see us women getting our recognition and everyone celebrating us. I think it's a wonderful thing. And by the way, all this talk about writing, I've wrote for other people. I've wrote on Diddy's album. Check your credits.
And I think that as a rapper, you're supposed to want to be the best. You are supposed to feel like no one is better than you. You are supposed to feel that way. And so Lil Kim saying this, feeling this way, I have no problem. I have zero problem with Lil Kim having these thoughts. But so I know some people out there are going to say Kim's not on the level of a Michael Jackson. How dare she put herself in that kind of category? But like I said, as a rapper, as an artist, as an athlete, you are supposed to feel as though you are the greatest. You are supposed to feel like that. And if you don't, then you're doing yourself, I think, a disservice. So that's part of it. But so she said, Lil Kim, in this interview, she said, to me, my albums start from Notorious Kim, because hardcore is a classic. So what does that mean? Of course, hardcore is a classic. So that's your albums to start from the classic. Well, whatever. She said it's just something different. So I guess she's trying to make a separation between her first album, which is hardcore, and then Notorious K.I.M., which is that second album. Anyway, she said that it's a staple. It's monumental. It's something that just like in a museum. So I guess she's trying to say this, that it's a perfect album. I don't know if it's a perfect album. It is a classic. It is a classic. So she said that it's something how I look at Michael Jackson's albums, right? Michael Jackson's albums. So you talk about his solo albums and you talk about these things. A classic is hardcore. Lil Kim's first album. Is that in any way, shape, or form? Can you compare that to Thriller? No. Can you compare that to Michael Jackson's Off the Wall album? No. You might can compare it to some of those other albums like Invincible, some of those later Michael Jackson albums. Blood on the Dance Floor was what was that? The History Michael Jackson? I don't know. You can compare it to something, but I don't know. It was a good album. I don't want to get it confused. It was a good album, but I don't know, it's not the best rap album I've ever heard. It's not even in the top. Well, you know what? We need to do this list. Oh my goodness, we need to do this list of albums and rappers. Anyway, from there, Lil Kim made it clear that her pen is a force to be reckoned with. And she said that. Wait, hold on a second here. Lil Kim said that her pen is a force to be reckoned with. Wow. All right. I don't know if I've seen evidence of that. I would definitely need to see what she wrote for her to feel this way. She said, and by the way, all this talk about writing, I've wrote for other people. I wrote on Diddy's album. Check the credits, homeboy. Whoever his name is, I just learned about some guy that was talking smack, whatever. Yeah, do your homework, El Stupido. Not sure what she's talking about there. But one thing about Kim, she's never been scared to give her opinion on something, and she talks her talk. So that's why it's so surprising to me when we hear the reason that Lil Kim got surgery was because of self-esteem or something like that. I just don't know if that's it, because Kim is definitely outspoken, right? So when we hear those stories about physical abuse that Lil Kim went through, and that's why the surgery started. Now that might make sense to me, because she doesn't come off as someone who has low self-esteem. I mean, she just doesn't, and maybe she's different now that she's older. I don't know, but Kim, shout out to Kim. Kim writing for artists. Now, what I'd like to know what other artists she wrote for. She specifically named Diddy, right? Diddy, and folks know that Diddy has had folks write for him. It was nothing that was ever hidden. It was nothing that was a secret. Folks knew that. And I have spoken often about ghostwriters, and I don't have a problem with any artist that needs help of somebody else to write something. And yeah, it's just, it's not a real big thing. When you talk about R&B, when you talk about rock and roll, other artists have collaborated and they sing songs that someone else wrote, and it's no problem. But for some reason, for hip hop, it's long since been this stigma. You cannot have somebody else write for you. You got to keep it real. Blah 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 blah. Some writers are not good reciters, and some reciters are not good writers. And sometimes you need to put it all together. But that's my thoughts on that. But Lil Kim writing for Diddy, hilarious. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just saying I want to know what song. I need to check some of the credits. She didn't even tell us what song. Why would she tell us the song? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Of course, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok at The Diamond K Show. Of course, all social media at The Diamond K Show. ONFIRE-TV.com. ONFIRE-TV.com.